Minnie dropped the blade, her heart pounding against her ribs like a trapped bird. She stumbled backward from the kitchen counter, breath catching in her throat. This couldn't be happening. Her eyes darted back to the gutted fish lying on the cutting board, its silvery scales dull under the harsh kitchen lights. It wasn't the sight of the fish that made her heart race. It was the movement, a subtle twitch across the exposed flesh, as if something within its cold, lifeless body was stirring. A glint of gold caught her eye, a delicate chain nestled among the fish's entrails. As she reached a trembling hand toward it, the fish's tail gave a sharp, convulsive jerk. A guttural scream tore from Minnie's throat, a sound so primal that it echoed through the quiet house, summoning her husband, Joel. Minnie and Joel's life was a testament to self-sufficiency. Their charming farmhouse, nestled amidst rolling hills and verdant fields, was a sanctuary of sustainable living. They cultivated a sprawling garden, its rows bursting with vibrant vegetables and fragrant herbs. Their diet was supplemented by the bounty of nearby lakes and the sea, their fishing trips a regular ritual connecting them to the natural world. Their children, two inquisitive and energetic youngsters, were raised with the same reverence for nature. They were taught the ancient skills of hunting and gathering, lessons passed down through generations, fostering a deep respect for the land and its resources. This lifestyle wasn't just a necessity, it was a passion, a shared experience that strengthened their family bonds. On this particular day, the sun painted the sky in hues of gold and azure as Minnie and Joel set out for their fishing trip. The lake's surface shimmered under the morning sun, reflecting the surrounding trees like a mirror. They cast their lines into the tranquil water, the gentle lapping of the waves against the boat creating a soothing rhythm. The day's catch was plentiful, yielding several bowfin, a fish often overlooked by other anglers. But Minnie and Joel knew its value. They had perfected the art of preparing bowfin, transforming its firm flesh into a delectable meal. As the sun began its descent, they returned home, their cooler filled with the day's bounty. Back in their kitchen, Minnie began the familiar task of cleaning the fish. As she sliced through the belly of one of the bowfin, her knife struck something hard. Initially, she assumed it was a bone, but as she carefully probed the area, she unearthed a delicate gold necklace, its anchor pendant gleaming under the kitchen light. The discovery was startling, but the true shock came moments later. As Minnie examined the necklace, the fish's body twitched. It was a small movement at first, but it quickly escalated into a series of unsettling contractions. The fish, seemingly lifeless just moments before, was now exhibiting signs of bizarre, post-mortem animation. The scene in the kitchen was surreal. The fish, despite being gutted, continued to twitch and convulse. Joel, initially skeptical, stared at the spectacle with a mixture of fascination and unease. Minnie, her initial fear giving way to curiosity, grabbed her phone and searched for an explanation. A quick online search revealed that post-mortem muscle contractions in fish were a known phenomenon. The fish's nervous system could still react to stimuli even after death, and factors like salt could trigger these reactions, causing the muscles to contract. The scientific explanation offered a degree of reassurance, but it didn't diminish the strangeness of the situation. Minnie's attention returned to the necklace. It was delicate, the anchor pendant intricately detailed. As she examined it more closely, she noticed something else within the fish's remains: small, glistening spheres. Carefully extracting them, she realized they were pearls, each possessing a subtle iridescence. The discovery of the pearls added another layer of mystery. How had a fish come to swallow both a necklace and pearls? The question swirled in Minnie's mind, fueling her curiosity. They documented their discovery, sharing photos and videos on social media. The story quickly went viral, attracting a mix of awe, skepticism, and accusations of fabrication. Some online commentators questioned why they weren't trying to find the necklace's owner. Minnie and Joel explained that the vastness of the water system made such a task virtually impossible. The fish could have ingested the items anywhere, and there was no way of knowing how long they had been submerged. Despite the controversy, Minnie felt a nagging sense that there was more to uncover. They had several more bowfin in the freezer, and she couldn't shake the feeling that they might hold similar secrets. With a mixture of excitement and trepidation, she decided to investigate further. The next day, Minnie began the process of thawing the remaining fish. Joel watched her, a mixture of amusement and concern on his face. "You really think there's more?" he asked, a slight smile playing on his lips. Minnie shrugged. "You never know," she replied, her voice filled with anticipation. The first few fish revealed nothing. They were ordinary, just like any other fish they had caught. But as Minnie began to clean the fifth fish, her knife struck something hard, just as it had before. Her heart quickened. Carefully extracting the object, she discovered it was a ring, a thick gold band, clearly designed for a man. Joel's eyes widened in disbelief. "This is unbelievable," he muttered. Unlike the necklace and pearls, the ring offered a tangible clue. As Minnie cleaned it, she noticed an inscription on the inside, 2 names and a date. This was a breakthrough, a potential link to the ring's history. Driven by a renewed sense of purpose, Minnie and Joel embarked on a digital search. They scoured online records, searching for any mention of the names and date engraved on the ring. Hours passed, their eyes growing tired from staring at the computer screen, but they persevered. Finally, their efforts paid off. Joel let out a shout of triumph. "I found them!" he exclaimed, pointing to the screen. The names matched: James and Madeline Jeffords. They discovered a social media profile belonging to the couple, filled with photos and updates about their lives. There was no mention of a lost ring, suggesting it had been lost long ago. Minnie, her hands trembling slightly, composed a message to Madeline, explaining their discovery and asking for a description of the ring to confirm its ownership. The wait for a response was agonizing. The next morning, a notification popped up on Minnie's phone. Madeline had replied. Her description of the ring was perfect, down to the use of the nickname Jimmy instead of James. They had found the rightful owners. The following day, Minnie, Joel, and their children drove to meet the Jeffords. The reunion was emotional. Madeline and James recounted the story of how the ring had been lost during a boating trip years ago. They had given up hope of ever seeing it again. The Jeffords were overwhelmed with gratitude. As a token of their appreciation, they insisted that Minnie keep the necklace, a symbol of the extraordinary chain of events that had brought them together. The drive home was filled with a sense of wonder. The necklace, now a cherished keepsake, served as a reminder of the incredible journey they had undertaken. They had started with a fishing trip and ended up uncovering a story of loss, rediscovery, and the enduring power of human connection. Back at home, the story had spread further online and offline, and the family became known as the Treasure Family. They were even approached by a production company to create a documentary about their lives. The children were thrilled to be part of the adventure and learned a valuable lesson about the importance of honesty and integrity. Minnie and Joel found themselves at the center of community buzz. Neighbors and friends, inspired by their tale, began to share their own stories of lost treasures and unexpected discoveries. The local newspaper featured an article about the family, emphasizing the importance of connection and the magic that can happen when people come together. As the weeks passed, the Jeffords became regular visitors at the farmhouse. They shared meals, laughter, and stories, weaving their lives together in friendship. Minnie and Madeline formed a close bond, often exchanging gardening tips, while Joel and James found camaraderie in their shared love for fishing. The experience strengthened their family bond and reinforced their belief in the interconnectedness of all things. The necklace, now a family heirloom, served as a tangible reminder of the incredible journey they had embarked on, a journey that began with a fishing trip and culminated in a heartwarming reunion and lasting friendship. As the seasons changed, Minnie often reflected on that fateful day in the kitchen. What had started as a mundane task transformed into a life-altering experience. The treasures of the deep had not only been physical objects, but also the intangible treasures of shared experience and newfound friendship. Minnie and Joel decided to host a community gathering, inviting neighbors, friends, and the Jeffords. They shared their story, emphasizing the importance of honesty, integrity, and the connections that bind us all. The event turned into a celebration of community with laughter, music, and shared meals. The children, now more aware of the world around them, took it upon themselves to organize a small treasure hunt in their backyard, inspired by their family's adventure. They invited friends and neighbors, fostering a spirit of exploration and discovery. The event was a resounding success, bringing the community closer together. As the sun set on that magical day, Minnie looked around at the smiling faces of her family and friends. She realized that the true treasure was not the necklace or the ring, but the bonds they had formed and the memories they had created. Life had a way of surprising them, and in the most unexpected moments, they had found joy, friendship, and a deeper understanding of the world around them. Months later, as Minnie sat on her porch, the necklace glinting in the sunlight, she felt profound gratitude. The adventure had changed their lives in ways they could never have imagined. It had taught them the value of connection, the importance of community, and the magic that can unfold when one embraces the unknown. Minnie and Joel continued to fish, garden, and live their sustainable lifestyle, but now with renewed purpose. They understood that every day held the potential for discovery, and they were committed to sharing that spirit with their children and the community. The story of the Treasure family became a legend in their town, a reminder that the most extraordinary moments often arise from the most ordinary days. And so, with hearts full of hope and a spirit of adventure, they embraced each new day, ready for whatever treasures life had in store next.